Hi. Now, as part of the next step, now in this video, we will be talking about institutional hierarchy. That's very important when you are selecting the seat. It gives you some amount of knowledge that is required for you to select the seat. Let us go ahead and discuss them. Okay. Now, as you saw that we had various parameters. Out of that, I will be considering institutional hierarchy now in this video. Now, when I am talking about institutional hierarchy, as you are aware, in your 10th standard, you might have heard about CBSE, ICSE and state boards, which were helpful for regulating. And then similarly in the 12th standard, your state and central boards. Now in Karnataka, you have Karnataka pre-university board, similarly for other states. Now when it comes to higher education, particularly in the technical field, now you may be looking for AICTE, which is a governing body which does all the work or all the framework. Okay. So now in higher education, particularly in engineering domain, so if you look at Ministry of Education, which is now giving directions to AICTE for this vision, okay, and implementation. Okay. Now this will have a control over universities, and these universities actually in some cases control the colleges. So the reporting structure will be like colleges report to universities and university to AICTE, and AICTE reports to Ministry of Education. Now we will understand how the universities are available work in India. So with respect to Indian scenario, so universities are either created by act of central government or by act of state government, because education is a concurrent list. So once universities are created either by central government or by state government act, now these will be either funded by government, whichever it is created, or otherwise, and then or it will be by private sector alone. Now as the name as you can say that we can call them like government university or private university, because they are 100% funded by government or private. There is a clear distinction. But what if there is a hybrid funding, that is some amount of government, some amount of private, some amount of industry or whatsoever. So these are some things which are now in the plate, so it's very difficult to answer this question. It's like a bouncer, so you need to search for the web, and please put the comments in the comment section below. Okay, but you can say that you can for funding from government, if it is a semi-funded, then the word that is used is aid. So that means, for example, you can use something like aided private universities. So something like this. So you can check what names are given for this kind of universities. That's very interesting. And then if you look at how these universities work, as I said, universities in India are created by either state or central, and they can have funding from either state government or central government 100% funded, or even private can have 100% funding. In some cases it's a partial. That's a difficult thing to answer with respect to funding, but anyway, in any case, the universities can admit the students directly. Okay, if you are not aware, if it looks surprising, yes, universities do admit students directly. They will have their own campuses. Okay, now these universities, in some cases, this is one particular case, that some universities doesn't have colleges under them. Okay, for example, if you look at VTU, so VTU has around 100 plus, even it is very higher, 150 plus colleges under them. But if you look at some of the examples like IITs, NITs, IIITs, okay, this doesn't have any college under them. That means these are called deemed universities. That means they have university and the same university is acting like a college. So they don't have additional colleges under them. So that is what deemed universities are. Okay. So anyway, this is the used name in context. So if you come across this word for any case, you should be aware that deemed university means they don't have any colleges under them and they are the only one which function. Okay. So now the other alternative form the one thing is, anyway they can admit the students like in VTU, but VTU also has many colleges under them. So these colleges report to VTU, okay, or we call actually in our government norms, we call them as affiliated to VTU. That means they obey the rules and regulations of what VTU frames. So university have the freedom to frame the rules, okay. That's a freedom given by AICTE to improve the quality of education. So the freedom is used by universities to frame the rules and regulations for improving the quality of education. Now, using these rules, colleges will create such kind of atmosphere or infrastructures and hire the ratios of faculties, like in the 15:1 ratio or 20:1 ratio, whatever is to be governed by the colleges, and then these colleges will admit students accordingly as per the norms of the universities. As I said, so they are affiliated to these universities. That means when they give you degree, these degrees are given in the name of university and not the colleges. So this is very important. So this is how it works, okay. And then you need to know about something about types of colleges, because we have a lot of colleges in India, particularly in many southern states, okay, with respect to engineering. So now, if you look at college names, one of the important factors that you need to observe is with respect to degree of management freedom. As we saw, universities are given freedom to frame the rules and regulations for any of this. But what about the colleges? As you see that some colleges have no say in framing the rules and regulations, they just have to obey. This is a traditional approach. But to improve this quality of education, some amount of degree of freedom is given to colleges. So for example, they are called autonomous colleges. For example, BEC Bagalkot is one such college where I studied. So there currently it is autonomous college. After I passed out, after a few years, it became an autonomous colleges. Now, when I say autonomous college, that means it needs to say some rules are obeyed as per the university. For example, the student faculty ratio, and then the degree credits, and all those aspects. But some freedom, like what should be the curriculum, how it should be delivered, and all that can be controlled and monitored by autonomous colleges. And again, how should the exam should be in totality, okay. So even they will set the question paper, they will evaluate it, okay, or they can frame their own rules and how to evaluate it, okay. All this is the part of the autonomous colleges. Now with this, so they will have a better or higher degree of management, so that they can do the better in improving the quality of education. That's the thought process behind the giving the autonomy. Now once the colleges, next level improvement of the college is getting the autonomy, okay. And then based on the funding, you can also have some variations of the colleges, okay. When I say based on the funding, then it depends. Again, if you have 100% funded by government, then you can call them as government colleges, or you can generally use public colleges, but generally it's used as government colleges. In Karnataka, we have very few engineering colleges which are government colleges. Lately, it has been realized by government, and few colleges are being now constructed. Now, the other bigger chunk is private colleges, which is actually two types. One is aided and unaided. So aided, as it says, it is getting the funds from government. It's a aid. That is, the aid is used by colleges to run some aspects. For example, faculties are being paid for certain percentage, like 85%, 15% of the ratio, so that the colleges are not having so much of a problem in raising the funds, right? So now, when they are giving the funds, obviously the government expects something out of them. So in return, these aided colleges are asked to have a like when they admit the students, the fees is decided with the government at certain strength, okay. So basically, what is the advantage if you want to select a aided private college? Then your fees will be a bit lower in comparison to private unaided. Okay, that's very important from selecting seats as concerned. Again, you may have very important thing that you should be knowing, that in a college, some branches may be aided, some branches may be unaided. And another important thing is, in a college, within a branch, some strength may be aided, some strength may be unaided. This is very difficult to hear. Yes, this is how it makes the difference. So, in order to help students, you know, I have to repeat this, in order to help the students, because there is a difference in fee structure. So same college has two codes. One is for aided, another is for unaided, so that student doesn't find it difficult to choose the lesser fees than the higher fees. So you can prioritize, okay, based on your needs, right? Now coming to the whole aspects of what we covered, okay, the points. When you talk about universities, as I said, you can have private university and or government universities. Then we can talk of deemed universities. As you said, there is no other college with under that, right? So like IITs, NITs. IITs and NITs are central government universities, and they are also completely government universities, but they are also deemed universities. Okay. Now we can also have private universities. Now, then there is college, simple normal college, and then there can be higher degree of freedom exercise, that can be autonomous college, and then based on the funding possibilities, autonomous college can also be private aided college or private unaided college. Okay. Then there is government colleges. So this is something that you need to know before you proceed to the next video, where I'll be discussing other aspects. Thank you. If you like this video, kindly click the like button below. Subscribe to this channel for updates on this and similar topic, and share the video with your family and friends. Kindly suggest the topic of your interest to be covered in the next videos, and also your point of view about this video in the comment section below.